Could ancient aliens have helped build Machu Picchu? Stay with us. Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Brianne.
I had the weirdest dream last night. I was running up these misty terraces and a giant condor was like, "Follow me to the beacon." I woke up and immediately wanted corn on the cob. Is that a sign?
It's a sign you should stop doom-scrolling travel instas before bed. But sure, follow the giant bird to carbs. Welcome to the Vale, unsolved and unbelievable.
Today, Machu Picchu, the so-called lost city of the Incas, perched at about 2,430 meters above the sacred valley, wrapped in cloud forest, crowned with temples and a ritual stone that might have been a cosmic clock. Or something wilder.
And by wilder, you mean you're about to say aliens with a straight face, right?
Okay, back to the facts. Machu Picchu is a 15th century Inca citadel set on a narrow saddle between the peaks called Machu Picchu and Huayna Picchu, with the Urubamba River carving a canyon on three sides. It's about 1,000 meters lower than Cusco, so it has a milder climate, more comfortable for a royal retreat. Most archaeologists see it as a seasonal estate for the Emperor Pachacuti, occupied roughly from around 1420 to 1530, then abandoned amid the chaos and disease after Spanish contact. It got UNESCO World Heritage status in 1983, and in 2007 it was named one of the new 7 wonders of the world. These days, visitor numbers are capped at about 4,500 per day, and up to 5,600 in peak season, because erosion and overcrowding are real problems. There's even a no-fly zone. Helicopters were tried in the 80s and then stopped because of noise, wildlife disturbance, and rotor wash. A bad idea in a fragile place. Layout-wise, you've got agricultural terraces stepping down the slopes, about 4.9 hectares of them, engineered with layers of rock, gravel, sand, and richer topsoil likely hauled up from the valley. The urban sector splits into Hanan and Hurin, the upper and lower town. The Sacred Plaza, Temple of the Sun, Temple of the Three Windows, Main Temple, the Intihuatana Ritual Stone, and the Temple of the Condor with its caves all showcase classic Inca dry stone ashlar. Super precise joints, trapezoidal doors, and slightly inclined walls for seismic resilience.
And the approach is dramatic. Most people hike in via Inti Punku, the Sun Gate, so the sunrise literally stages a reveal. Not subtle, but very theatrical.
All right, moving on. Here's what ancient astronaut enthusiasts say. They look at those mortarless walls, how the blocks interlock with surgical precision, how the doors are trapezoidal and the walls lean just so, and say there's no way 15th century humans did that alone. Then they point to the Intihuatana, the carved ritual pillar, and claim it's not just an astronomical stone. It's a beacon, a tuner, an emitter. Call it what you want. They also love the geology. In 2019, researchers argued Machu Picchu sits on fault zones, which gave Inca masons lots of pre-fractured stone and natural quarry faces. Believers flip that into, the site was chosen because the faults are like a geological conveyor belt. Easy harvesting, yes, but also perfect for channeling energy. Add the misty ridge, the Urubamba wrapping it like a moat, and those sunrise alignments through Inti Punku, and you get a ritual stage for sky knowledge.
So let me get this straight. Clever stonemasonry, dramatic weather, and some fault lines equal aliens? Sorry, not sorry. That's a leap the size of the canyon.
Wait, there's more. They point to those bismuth bronze ceremonial knives Bingham's team excavated in the 19-teens, the earliest known artifacts with that alloy in the Andes. To them, that smells like exotic metallurgy, maybe shared knowledge. And because there's a modern no-fly zone and the 80s helicopter pad idea was rolled back, they spin that as authorities protecting sensitive tech or energies. Plus, the people who lived there were a deliberately assembled multi-ethnic group. Yanaconas and former Akla from the Andes, the coast, Ecuador, and the Amazon, which believers reframe as a chosen caretaker class for a cosmic cult.
Conspiracy alert. The no-fly rules are because rotor wash damages stonework and scares wildlife, not because a spaceship's parked on the sacred plaza. And the bronze knives are still knives. Cool metallurgy, yes, but not warp cores.
Okay, but listen. I read an account from a sunrise visit where someone pressed their hand to the Intihuatana and felt a low hum, like the mountain's heartbeat. Add compasses jittering around certain stones, and yeah, I get why people think something else is happening. Isn't that bananas?
Altitude, adrenaline, microtremors on a faulted ridge, and the power of suggestion. Your brain is brilliant at turning awe into agency. Also, compasses misbehave near magnetic minerals and metal objects. Shocker.
And naming weirdness, by the way? A 2021 study suggested the original name might have been Huayna Picchu or just Picchu, not Machu Picchu, which exploded globally after Hiram Bingham's writings. If the name got rewritten, what else did we overwrite?
Let's move on to why we don't need ET first, engineering. Inca builders used local granite and granodiorite already fractured by faults, which made quarrying and shaping easier. They keyed blocks into bedrock, used slightly inward-leaning walls, and trapezoidal doorways and windows, all brilliant for earthquakes. That precision is technique, not magic. Second, hydrology. It rains about 2,010 millimetres a year there, so the terraces were engineered to drain, not irrigate. Big stones, then gravel, then sand, then imported rich topsoil from the valley. That's why the slopes don't just liquefy. Again, human ingenuity. Third, chronology and people. AMS radiocarbon dating puts occupation roughly 1420 to 1530, squarely in the reigns of Pachacuti and Tupac Inca Yupanqui. The resident community was intentionally diverse, Yanaconas and former Axiela from across the Andes, who lived, worked and were buried there. Health profiles show lower arthritis and fewer fractures than heavy labour groups, so they were doing service, ritual, craft and hospitality, not hauling UFOs up a ridge.
But those alignments, the Sungate reveal, the Sacred Plaza, the Intihuatana, you're telling me none of that hints at outside help?
I'm telling you, the Inca were expert skywatchers. Aligning architecture with solstices and sunrise points is entirely within human capability. Inti was the sun. This is state religion and power made stone. Roads and bridges tie it into a big Urubamba network, including the Inca Bridge and multiple river crossings, so it wasn't isolated for secret landings. It was selectively accessible for ritual theatre.
Okay, but what about ritual? There's little evidence for human sacrifice there. More camelid offerings, caves under the Temple of the Condor, and even dogs buried with people as companions for the dead. It feels very charged, like a sanctuary.
Yes, sanctuary and royal estate, not alien lab. And while we're on conspiracies, I do buy that early 20th century artifact removals sparked a century-long custody fight. Yale finally returned the last batch in 2012. They're now exhibited at the Casa Concha Museum in Cusco. That's a real power story. Who controls the past, not little green stonecutters.
So you're saying the hum is in my head, the beacon is a beautiful rock, and the no-fly zone is just common sense?
Basically, yes. And the drama is deliberate. Inti Punku's sunrise reveal, the mists, the cliff walls dropping 450 metres to the river. It's engineered awe, very human, very effective.
Here's the deal. Whether it's a beacon or a calendar, standing there would make anyone feel small and wired into something big. Maybe that's why people reach for the extraterrestrial. It's a shortcut for wonder we can't quite put into words.
If you want to dive deeper, watch Machu Picchu Decoded. It covers the engineering and the ritual landscape without the tinfoil hat.
All right, moving on. After we wrap, I'm going to check out that old train tunnel by the river, the one people say is haunted. If I don't text back, assume the Condor finally recruited me.
I'm going to need a stiff drink and maybe a trapezoidal doorway to keep my walls from collapsing after all that alien talk. Thanks for listening. Keep your feet on the terraces and your eyes on the sunrise, and as always, keep questioning the world around you.